with that out of the way, let's talk about our second topic, which really is an extension of the first topic. And I think it's something that, as a YouTuber who is starting to talk more and more about investing and his own personal stock portfolio, I think this story is especially relevant. Because I make it very, very clear when I talk about Robinhood and what I'm investing in, I am not saying you should invest in what I invest. And I am not arrogant enough to say that I have stock advice. In fact, frankly, I think analysts are full of it when they say, oh, we know where this is going. Everyone's got theories, but you never know what's going to happen. Analysts could not have predicted a complete shutdown of the world, which would almost destroy the stock market, but now it's roaring back to life because, it eventually gets cheap enough that anyone gets into it. But there's at least one billionaire investor, Leon Cooperman, who warns that the rise of Robinhood traders will end in tears. And, well, just to let you know right now, there have been a few tears shed on this end as well, but let's look at what he's saying. So, amateur investors have been piling in money into different stocks and taking advantage of the market crash over recent weeks, but billionaire investor Leon Cooperman has rebuked these gains and believes it will, quote, end in tears. Leon Cooperman, who is chairman and chief executive of Omega Advisors, told CNBC's halftime report on Monday, they are just doing stupid things, and in my opinion, this will end in tears. The famed investor referred to online trading platform Robinhood's surge in account openings with more than 3 million new accounts created this year. Robinhood now has more than 13 million users, and if you're not one of them, use the referral link below, you can get a free stock, with an average user age of 31. Cooperman noted that many new investors are replacing gambling and sports betting with trading, telling CNBC the gambling casinos are closed and the Federal Reserve is promising you free money for the next 2 years, so let them speculate. He added, let them buy and trade. From my experience, this kind of stuff will end in tears. Now, here's the thing. He does not highlight anything on why he feels this will end in tears. But I think there's a few things you could point out. First of all, obviously, a lot of YouTubers, like, look up Hertz stock in YouTube as an experiment and see how many YouTubers were talking about how Hertz was a risky but potentially very rewarding scenario. And maybe it'll still be rewarding, but look, it's not heading in that direction. I also know that one of the most popular stocks that were bought on Robinhood last year, or maybe it was the year before, I forget, was MoviePass. Clearly that didn't go anywhere. And I know that people who get on Robinhood tend to do, a lot of them do this. They look for penny stocks, and they buy a bunch of penny stocks, and they hope that the penny stocks will eventually become dollar stocks, and so that they can sell it and get some lunch money. But this is not the best way to invest. And even though I'm not giving you financial advice, the best way to invest, in my opinion, is diversity, a little bit of a time, and take a fair amount of risk, but also invest in companies that are most likely not going anywhere. Now, I have a separate stock portfolio, and I might show you what that portfolio looks like at some point, although I think some things should remain private, but it's very healthy. But when you look at what I've been doing, I've been, with the exception of this one, which is definitely a risk, like this is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is unlikely to go anywhere. This is AMC Theaters. That's a risk, but I personally think theaters will be okay in the long run. This is another risk. This is Virgin Galactic. However, you click on it, and you'll see that it's less than 5%. For the most part, I think you should only have up to 5% of your portfolio of one particular company. You have IMAX, you have GE, you have Nokia, you have JetBlue. These are companies that are unlikely to go anywhere. And like Papa John's isn't going anywhere. Six Flags is unlikely to go anywhere. These were experimental stocks, but I got them really cheap. And now they have risen in value quite a bit from what I bought them. And again, less than 5%. So if it gets wiped out, it will hurt, but it won't hurt much. And these are airlines who are obviously down, but here's the thing. Airlines will bounce back at some point. But I will say, oh, that's the wrong one, that I also resent a little bit of this guy's saltiness, because it really bothers me when people with money come forward and they say, we're the smart people in the room, and you don't know what you're doing. And I think he's a little salty at Robinhood traders, because there is a story that I covered last week that involved Robinhood users and how they were making bank on Robinhood. There were tons of my own viewers that, hey, when Uber stock got to like $7 a share, some of my viewers, they like bought $300 of Uber shares, and now that stock is like $36. Now, if you had bought it at IPO, you're still frankly a fool. It went down, you lost a lot of money. But if you bought it at $7 a share and it went up to $35, you made a really good decision there. And that's just the way it worked. A lot of companies, the stocks got much cheaper. I myself took out $1,000 and bought multiple shares of Disney when it hit $90 because I knew Disney would recover at some point. And while billionaires were pulling their money out, regular people on apps like Robinhood and Webull put money in, and they are now reaping the rewards. And I think this guy personally is just a little salty about that. He's like, no, the market was not supposed to recover this way. It was supposed to like take months, and I think he's just being a little salty. And for that matter, his narrative isn't even completely true. Oh, great. I could see this article earlier. But anyway, this article, what it was, and this is just one of the negative things about being live when things like that happen. That article was talking about whether or not Robinhood users were responsible for the V-shaped recovery. And while they admit that Robinhood users are buying a lot of stock, most of them don't have the kind of money that this guy has, or Warren Buffett. They put $50 in here and there, but they're not like putting all of their chips on red. They're just not. So the story that Robinhood alone is causing the markets to rise is a fallacy. And what this guy is trying to say at one point is that basically because all the regular people are putting money into Robinhood, then eventually the thing will collapse. Well, that doesn't even add up itself, because if regular people are buying stocks and more people keep signing up for Robinhood, that means they're just going to prop the market up more. Now, are some Robinhood people doing stupid things with their money? Of course they are. Of course they are. Again, I refer to our earlier story about Hertz. And I myself bought a lot of stock in Robinhood, which I want to remind everyone, this was my Robinhood investment, and as you can see, I lost big time on that. I lost big time on that bet. And look, it's still questionable. I mean, look, this is over a few months. It's typically going up, but I'm having a bad day now. So, sorry. I need to move this over here. See, this was our Robinhood days. This was where I lost. I was doing pretty good, but now I'm having a bad day. So, here's the thing. I don't believe Robinhood is causing the market to go way up. I think it's going up because Robinhood users and investors who see an opportunity to get certain stocks at basically half off are taking advantage of it. And of course, people are going back out into the public. They're spending their money again, and that raises confidence on the stock market. So that is why I believe this is rebound in the way it has. Because people are more confident in the market in general. Therefore, investors of all kinds are more confident in the market. So that's what's going on. But anyway, I would like to know what you have to say about this. Do you agree with this guy that Robinhood users are in for a huge wake-up call? Do you agree with that? Do you not? I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly.